If you've been working really hard in the gym and with your nutrition and you feel like you might have hit a weight loss plateau, don't worry. In this video, I'm gonna break down what a weight loss plateau actually is, how to determine if you're in a weight loss plateau, what can possibly cause a weight loss plateau, and how to differentiate between a weight loss plateau or a fat loss plateau or no plateau at all. And make sure you watch all the way to the end because I'm gonna give you 3 simple tips to break through your weight loss plateau and continue seeing results in your journey. So let's get right into it. But if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get a notification when I release a new video just like this one every single week. My name's Michelle Roots, kinesiologist, personal trainer, and nutrition coach with over 17 years experience in the industry, helping people increase lean muscle, decrease body fat to become the strongest, healthiest versions of themselves. And I created this channel because I want to help you as well. So let's get started by explaining what is a weight loss plateau. Put simply, a weight loss plateau happens when you've been consistently following an exercise and nutrition plan, consistently losing weight on a regular basis, then all of a sudden that weight loss stops. It's a period of time, usually 2 or 3 weeks, where you're doing everything exactly the same, but despite all of your efforts, the scale just does this and there is no dip. If you're on the first week of maybe the scale not going down like it did last week, this is not a weight loss plateau. Just keep going and be more patient. As we all know, and I talk about in a lot of other videos on my channel, weight loss can do this. As long as it's a downward trend, but it could go up a pound, down 2 pounds, up half a pound, down 3 pounds, so on and so forth. But if you find it's 2 weeks, possibly even 3, if you're being consistent, and I mean 100% with your nutrition, 100% with your workouts, and it's been 3 weeks and you don't see any change on the scale, even 4 weeks, this could be a weight loss plateau. So how to determine if you're actually in a weight loss plateau is exactly what I just said. If you've been doing everything consistent with your workouts and your nutrition 100% and doing exactly what was working a few weeks ago to get the scale to gradually move down, and then all of a sudden for 3 to 4 weeks it has done this and nothing is happening, there is a possibility that you have reached a weight loss plateau, which is completely normal in a weight loss journey. Now, with that being said, let's quickly take a minute to determine the difference between a weight loss plateau and a fat loss plateau. So if your goal is a body recomposition, meaning possibly you'd like to see the scale go down a little bit, but you'd also like to see a change in your body composition, meaning you'd like to see more tone in your arms, you want to see some lines, you want to see cuts in your legs, and you want to feel more solid, meaning you're trying to change your body composition, increase muscle, decrease body fat. If you are at a point where you're strength training regularly and you're still crushing your nutrition and maybe the scale went down a little bit, but if you're at a point where maybe the scale is not moving, this doesn't mean necessarily that you're in a weight loss plateau. It could be that you're in a position of body recomposition where you're decreasing body fat and increasing lean muscle. So how do we determine if that's happening? Basically, this is where tracking other forms of progress is very important. So if your goal is strictly weight loss, you're not strength training, you don't have a goal to build muscle, and you're just eating in a calorie deficit and possibly just walking with the goal of weight loss, this is what we're referring to. But if your goal is increasing lean muscle, decreasing body fat, you want to make sure you're using the scale to track your progress, but also taking measurements, also taking progress pictures, and also tracking your strength in the gym. So if you're getting stronger, that means you're probably building muscle. If you're dropping inches, your clothes are starting to feel better. You see pictures side by side and you see some more definition in your shoulders, or you see some lines in your arms. You are making progress and you are not in a plateau. So this is where we determine what your goal is, what kind of training you're doing, what kind of nutrition you're doing to support that training to decide if you are actually in a plateau. Fat loss plateaus can also happen in a body recomposition journey, but again, you want to make sure that you are using other forms of progress. If you are someone who historically has always used the scale to determine your value in life and to determine if you are making progress, but you've now switched into the goal of body recomposition, it might be hard to wrap your head around the fact that the scale might not be moving, but maybe you are still making progress. So that's why we look at all of these other factors as well. So with all that being said, the main takeaway, make sure you are being patient, but if you determine that, yes, I am in a weight loss plateau, I've been doing everything the same, and I don't seem to be getting the results that I was getting 1 to 2 months ago, then possibly you have reached a plateau. And now we're going to talk about what can cause this weight loss or fat loss plateau. I want to take a minute to thank today's video sponsor, Element, one of my go-tos for replenishing my electrolytes after sweaty workouts. Electrolytes are important for so many functions in the body, including hormonal regulation, nutrient absorption, and fluid balance. Sometimes water just isn't enough, and Element has the perfect balance of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And better yet, zero artificial sweeteners or sugar, so zero junk. Element can help prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramp, fatigue, sleeplessness, and other common symptoms of electrolyte deficiency. Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Michelle. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/Michelle. Number 1 is what we call metabolic adaptation. So as you lose weight, your body's metabolic rate, so your basal metabolic rate, how many calories your body burns at rest, your body will adapt to that lower body weight, in turn burning less calories throughout the day. So this means you might be burning fewer calories at rest, which in turn, if you're eating the same amount of calories, you might not be in the calorie deficit that you were a few weeks ago. P.S. This is why I preach strength training so much on this channel, because building more lean muscle will actually help increase your basal metabolic rate as you lose weight. So it'll prevent that metabolic adaptation. But that's number 1. And that brings us to number 2 is your calorie intake. So again, if your basal metabolic rate has decreased, but you haven't switched your calorie intake and you're still eating the same amount of calories, this could cause a weight loss plateau. Number 3, you could be retaining water. So if you have just recently started strength training, your body might be storing more fluid in your muscles to help with recovery. So after you do a strength training workout, you might find that your weight has maybe gone up a pound, and what your body is doing is storing fluid in your muscles to help with that muscle recovery. Number 4, stress and sleep, and I guess recovery. So if you're not sleeping well, if you're not taking time to de-stress and you're not recovering properly, this could cause an increase in cortisol, which in turn could cause your body to stop losing weight and hold on to some more weight. So this will affect your hormones. So if you find in the last few weeks when this weight loss plateau has happened, you've been more stressed, you haven't been sleeping well, this could be the cause of your weight loss plateau. Number 5, you're doing the same old exercise routine. So if you've been doing the same workout routine and workout schedule for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, our bodies are amazing and will eventually adapt to all the stressors placed on it. So if you're doing the same exercises, lifting the exact same weights, going the same intensity with your cardio, eventually your body is going to adapt to that. So you'll be burning less calories in your workout than you were, say, 4 or 5 weeks ago, which in turn could lead to a weight loss plateau. And then number 6 is medical factors. So something like a hormonal imbalance, thyroid issues, if you started taking a new medication that could cause water retention or weight gain, some of these things could also affect your weight loss progress and possibly put you at a weight loss plateau. Okay, so after all that information, you're like, yep, no, yep. You have determined you are actually in a weight loss plateau and you really want to break through that and keep moving forward towards your progress. How do we do that? I'm going to give you my top 3 tips on how you can possibly break through this weight loss plateau. Number 1, change your calorie intake. So as I say in a lot of videos on this channel already, the key to weight loss is making sure that you're eating in a calorie deficit. So again, if at the beginning of your weight loss journey, you calculated your calories for your goal weight at that time or your body weight at that time, but you haven't changed your calorie intake as maybe you've lost 10 pounds over the last few weeks, you might need to reassess and recalculate your calorie intake based on that new body weight to make sure that you're still in a calorie deficit. If you have done that and you're like, I did drop my calories a little bit and it's still not working, what's going on? You can also try something called calorie cycling to shock your system a little bit. So meaning one day you're gonna eat higher calories, the next day you're gonna eat lower calories, higher and lower, but still staying in your calorie deficit. For example, if you've calculated your calorie intake to be 1,500 calories, that's your calorie deficit that you should be eating every single day. That gives you over 7 days, 10,500 calories. So still staying in your calorie deficit, you can alter those calories up and down on different days. So you could maybe eat 1,700 on Monday, you can drop a few hundred calories, you could go 1,300 on Tuesday, you can go up and down that way, but this is not necessary. I would say step 1 is alter your calorie deficit for your new body weight, or if you're only eating in a 250 calorie deficit, maybe increase that to a 500 calorie deficit for 6 weeks. Call it your fat loss phase. You're gonna eat at this calories for 6 weeks, see where you can get, and then you would take a little break, go back up to maintenance for a few weeks, and then go back into a fat loss phase so you are not consistently eating in that lower calorie range, but it might be what you need to shock your system. And then one last tip when it comes to your calorie intake is basically reassessing your portion sizes. So there could be things that you're eating and either you're not measuring correctly or you're adding more oil than you think you are in your pan. You're taking 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, but you're tracking for 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. I would say before you drop your calories, reassess what you're eating and make sure that you are almost 100% staying in that calorie deficit, because a few things here and there could actually be the difference of 200 or 300 calories a day, and that could take you out of your calorie deficit. Tip number 2 to break through a weight loss plateau is try switching up your workout routine. So if you are currently doing, like I was saying, the same strength training plan for the last 12 weeks, you're lifting the same weights, same intensity, you're walking outside at the exact same intensity, try maybe switching up your strength training routine, switch up your rep ranges, try and lift heavier weights. There's things that you can do to kind of make your workout more intense. Try supersetting different exercises together to increase the challenge. Also, if you're only doing steady state cardio, or right now your cardio is only walking, you can try introducing 10, 15, 20 minutes of high intensity interval training into your week, 1 or 2 times a week, to kind of shock your system and jumpstart your metabolism a little bit. Again, if that's something you're not already doing. You can also try increasing your step count so that you're getting more movement. If right now you're only getting 6,000 steps a day, try getting that up to 8,000 steps a day or 10,000 steps. And again, that's just gonna allow for more calorie burn throughout the day, in turn trying to get you to break through that weight loss plateau. But major takeaway here is if you're doing the same things over and over and over again, your body is going to adapt to that. And tip number 3, take a look at your macro split as well as your nutrient intake. So with macros, I mean the portion of protein, carbs, and fats that you're eating on a daily basis. Altering these ratios a little bit can sometimes jumpstart weight loss. So whether increasing your protein intake, lowering your carb intake a little bit, but you also want to look at your overall nutrient intake. Are you focusing on whole foods that are nutritious, loaded with micronutrients, will keep you feeling full, keep cravings down, and load your body with all the good fuel it needs? Are you eating out of boxes and just focusing on the calorie intake in your macros as opposed to the quality of food you're eating? Are you just relying on protein powders and protein bars? There's a possibility your body is yearning for more nutrients and more nutritious foods. So take a look at your fiber intake, your overall micronutrient intake, and then maybe you can make some swaps there. Like one suggestion, if you have trouble eating a lot of vegetables or fruit, maybe have 1 big salad a day. It's a great way to fill you up, get a lot of micronutrients in, a lot of fiber, and that's gonna help keep you feeling full. And again, it might just break you through that weight loss plateau, because although calories in versus calories out is the most important and does matter, quality of food and nutritious food is also very important. One example that some people use is, putting bad gas or the wrong gas in your car. It might not work as well as it's supposed to. It might not drive as well. It might break down. Same goes for our bodies. So think about what you're putting in. If you're relying on processed foods and only focusing on the calorie intake, there's a whole bunch of side ingredients and artificial sweeteners and all these other things that could cause bloating, that could cause all kinds of other things to go on in your body versus focusing on nutritious whole foods. So there you go, guys. I hope this was helpful. If you do find yourself in a weight loss plateau, the major takeaway from this video is 1, have a check-in with yourself. If you're telling yourself that you're on point with your nutrition and your workouts, but really you're maybe not, and you're sneaking a chocolate in here and a cookie and you're not really accounting for it, bites of your kids' sandwiches, not a big deal, totally allowed. But if your goal is weight loss and you're telling yourself you're in a weight loss plateau, but you're doing all these things, you're not drinking enough water every day, you're not hitting your protein goal, you're not really pushing yourself in the workouts, you're just kind of going through the motions, there's a possibility you're not in a weight loss plateau. You just need to clean things up a little bit and really focus. But if you are doing all of the things and you're like, I'm locked in, what is is going on. I hope the tips in this video really do help you break through that weight loss or fat loss plateau. So as always, leave any questions in the comments below. I'm always happy to help. And if you need help with your nutrition or your workouts, you can learn more about working with me one-on-one in my online fitness and nutrition coaching program. I'll put a link to that in the description below. As always, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.